get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream for Tuesday, April 21st. S&P futures up 13, NASDAQ is up 64, Russell up 6, and the Dow's up 261. Dow is the strongest by a small margin. It's up about 0.5%. The other's up about 1/4. Gold down almost 1%. Silver is down 2%. Notes and bonds are both down about 1/4%. 10-year yield up a little over 0.5%. Oil down almost 0.5%. Natural gas down right at 0.5%. Soybeans and corn a little bit green. Wheat down about 1/3%. Euro and the pound both tiny red, and Bitcoin down 1/4%. VIX up 1%, even with the S&P up. So getting a little bit of a volatility expansion. We did have Trump talking on CNBC this morning. That was pre-market. That's over. But we do have, we also had retail sales this morning. And then at 9 a.m. Central, 30 minutes after the bell, we have Warsh testifying, the new Fed chairman. So it's classified as a red folder event on the calendar due to testify on his nomination as the Federal Reserve Chair before the Senate committee. Will it be a market mover? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but we shall see. Biggest stock pre-market movers. United Healthcare is up almost 9%. A-Lab up 7.5%. Weeble's up 7%. SOUN is up 6%. Halliburton's up 3%. Amazon's up almost 3%. Biggest red, HIMS is down 6%. GE is down 3%. Circle is down 2%. Netflix down about 1%. Apple's a little bit red. Tim Cook stepping down as CEO. With the overnight expansion in VIX, I will do a 1 DTE iron Condor at the open. And then I will possibly scope out another DC time machine here a little bit later. I'm going to let things open and kind of settle in. But I do have the April 30, May 1st, which was a 10-11 DTE yesterday. Held that overnight. It's not quite to the point of being able to transform yet, but we'll look at doing that once a little bit more profit comes in. S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell all right around their previous day high. S&P, Russell a little bit above its previous day high. NASDAQ a little bit below. There's the bell. Expected move in S&P today, just under 34. Quick little dip to start the day. NASDAQ dipped into the red briefly. SMH is holding strong. AMD's acting a little bit strong. A lot of the Mag 7 coming down. There's my 1 DTE. NASDAQ right at unchanged. Russell is acting the strongest of the indices. Bitcoin's starting to drop a little bit. Tesla's in the red. Microsoft and Meta right around unchanged. Big banks are all above their previous day high, all positive. Crypto's coming down, Hood, Circle, MSTR coin all in the red. S&P continuing through lows. S&P about to go red. Meta, big bounce off yesterday's low. AMD is acting the strongest. It's right at pre-market low, pre-market high, AMD. And MU's right at pre-market high as well. AMD and MU both dropping at pre-market highs. I'm going to add some calls on AMD. I would use the 3DTE. 3DTE, I would trade the 280s. If it reclaims pre-market high, potentially. NASDAQ trying to stay green, S&P barely green, Russell acting a little stronger. Bitcoin still falling. All right, looking at AMD. I'm going to take AMD on this reclaim above pre-market high. Filled at 677. All right, AMD's popping a little bit. I'll put my first profit target at 740. Yeah, AMD made a little pop, but getting rejected again. SMH kind of pushed up to pre-market highs and got rejected as well. Russell is taken off. Russell getting up to pre-market highs. AMD's dipping again. SMH is coming down. AVGO is coming down hard. AMD and MU are still holding up pretty well, but they need some help from their buddies. Google is bouncing, going green. Tesla trying to bounce. Microsoft and Meta bouncing. I'm going to have to cut AMD if it doesn't recover here. PLTR, big bounce after it flushed. Qs and S&P staying green.
Order filled. Order partially filled.
MSTR starting to bounce. Bitcoin bouncing. SMH just, chips are showing a little more weakness while the indices are bouncing. Google big push. Tesla back to trying to go green. See if this little dip can get bought up in AMD for a reclaim. PLTR looks like it's about to push through pre-market high after a big flush. IWM making new highs. AMD needs to bounce or it's getting cut. AMD just chopping. MU still pulling back. SMH is pulling back. AVGO is still weak. So seeing some weakness in the chips now. Still, while the S&P's been going up for the last 10 minutes. PLTR kind of looks like it wants to break out. Meta and Microsoft and Google all kind of made a quick flush and then recovery up towards pre-market highs. All right, S&P popping above previous day high. Russell extending. AMD not moving. AMD trying to bounce a little bit. Tech definitely lagging here. AMD's pop just got shut back down. I'm going to cut AMD. Tried to bounce, couldn't do it, even with the strength in the indices. Chips are just staying a little bit more weak right now. Tesla tried to go green again, got pushed back down. Amazon had a little bounce. It's getting pushed right back down to lows.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
Some 0 DTE QQQ puts loaded. I'll do the 646.
Order filled.
646 puts in the Qs. 0 DTE. If we start to break lower, it's definitely the weakest of the three. Weakness in chips. Could drag the Qs down. AMD still going down. PLTR still looks like it wants to break out. Indices still bouncing. PLTR extending through highs. I'm going to load some 3 DTE calls
Order partially
in,
filled.
PLTR.
Order
Probably
filled.
the 150s. Goog still chopping a little bit below highs. Tesla's kind of rejecting after trying to go green a couple times. PLTR still going up. AMD starting to bounce again. SMH held above previous day high. Decent bounce. PLTR at previous day high would have worked well. Microsoft extending. Watching AMD. I'm going to get back in AMD. Right back at pre-market high here. Getting some strength across the board. Chips gaining some steam. Put my first profit target in AMD at 730. IWM pulling back. NASDAQ trying to get through previous day high. AMD looked like it was reclaiming that pre-market high. Kind of paused again. AMD hit an all-time high yesterday, 287.61. Currently at 280. Amazon's been weak all morning. It's starting to bounce big. Tesla trying to go green again. AMD trying to make its way up to highs. Nvidia's dipping. SMH is still bouncing. AMD is about to go through highs. Ticked a new high. Profit targets at 730. It got up to 720. There's 720 again. Need a little bit of a pop. Oracle's pushing through pre-market high. PLTR still extending. AVGO, big bounce back. NASDAQ got through previous day high. AMD new high. Got up to 725. Orders at 730. Yeah, Walsh is doing his testifying. It's supposed to start around right now. S&P, NASDAQ making new highs. Russell pulled back to pre-market high. Now it's bouncing right there at that level. Come on, AMD. Need a little bit more out of you, buddy. All right, there's 730 in AMD to hit first profit target. SMH is showing some strength, trying to get back up towards highs. Here goes AMD. I'll try to take some more AMD off at 780. NASDAQ pulling back to previous day high. Amazon's bounce, getting pushed back down. SMH still showing a lot of strength. Nvidia still red, trying to bounce a little bit. Tesla tried to go green again, got pushed back down. AMD trying to get back up to highs. New high in AMD. Options got up to 750. My order's at 780 for my second profit target. There's 760, 765, 770. Q's bouncing off previous day high. There's 780 filled in AMD. I had to let AMD hold my money there for about 20 minutes. Took some money from me. It was just holding it though. Gave it back. Gave it right back. We've got 4 left. I'll try to take 2 more off at 850.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
Microsoft kind of chopping around previous day high. Had some good relative strength. SMH blasting through highs of day. PLTR new high. QQQ previous all-time high from a couple days ago was 650 on the nose. Get close to that. Russell, little dip and rip. Back to highs. S&P new highs. Anybody else in AMD with me? Anybody take PLTR? Microsoft? Oh, good. Microsoft. Jonathan, PLTR, nice. AMD, a little pause. Oracle pushing new highs. SMH at highs. PLTR new highs. NVIDIA finally getting on board. It's back in the green. Tesla barely green. NASDAQ or QQQ just hit a new all-time high. as far as intraday. Apple back to lows of day. AMD a little pullback. Kind of right back down to the previous high of day. I'll consider adding to AMD here. Yeah, I'm going to add a few AMD. Filled at 731. I'll close that ad out at 810. MSTR trying to climb its way back into the green again. Keeps getting rejected. Bitcoin is kind of acting weak. Just choppy to weak. AMD creeping back up towards highs. MU fell apart. MU and AMD were kind of the same. Kind of trying to get above pre-market highs, and then they both dipped, but AMD reclaimed. MU going the other way. a little pop through highs a day to hit my 810 profit target. There goes MSTR popping. I'm sure Watson's in that one. Q's extending higher. S&P new highs. Oracle extending. PLTR still moving. Nope. AMD kind of rejected right at high of day. Same with SMH. All right, AMD right back to where I got in at that previous high of day area.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
Need to hold here or I'll just cut it. Hold and rip. Tesla back in the red. Big rejection. NASDAQ still coming down. SMH still coming down. S&P coming down. Russell. AMD is right there where it needs to hold for me. PLTR, pull back. Q's trying to bounce off previous day high again. One DTE Iron Condor is up 15%. AMD holding and bouncing. The double calendar I held overnight, the April 30, May 1, it's right there as far as price to be able to transform. I haven't put an order in yet. I would go for a little bit higher credit than where it's trading right now, but it is there to remove risk. Looks like. Oh, AMD dipping again. AMD trying to make its way back up to highs of day. Need a push through high of day, AMD. Push it on through. Oracle is strong, new high. SMCI is strong, new high. SMH is still dipping. Nvidia still in the red. Tesla still in the red. Microsoft, it's been kind of chopping above previous day high. Looks like it's ready to bounce again. Q's holding above previous day high. IWM pushing through new highs. Looks like Softy's going for a new high. Tezzy trying to go green again. Same with NVIDIA. Oracle. Oracle's still moving. Oracle's been moving lately. MU going into the red. All right. Small little dip buy up in SMH. Let's see if we can get these chips. Chips up. Microsoft pushing through highs. Netflix is weak, near previous day low. Come on, AMD. Getting tired of looking at you. Getting real tired of looking at you. All right, I'm going to wrap the stream. I will finish my AMD trade in the live stream. I've got an order at 8:10. I've got my kind of line in the sand, which is the previous high of day, which we're coming down to now. If it breaks below that, I cut. If we go higher, I scale out. So that is the plan. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We will see you in Power Hour. Power Hour back on today. All right, all. Take care. Talk to you soon.